Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of Baja Tales and Travels. Real people, real stories, real Baja. I'm your host, Dee Marie, and today I'm with David Cattanio from the Misión Performing Arts Center. So, David, welcome. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
And tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you originally from?
I was born in Connecticut and were there for a few years, and my parents started the journey across the country, went down south, ended up in Arizona for a while, and then went back to Connecticut for schooling and education, and then ended up down in Florida
Wow,
on the
you.
West Coast. Then never going to see snow again after that.
I'm
I
with you
hope.
on that one.
Yeah.
I'm from Chicago, so I
Oh,
get
good
that. Yeah.
Lord. Yeah, and then from there, just 7 years ago, discovered Baja. Came out to assist my mom and my sister with some life happenings, and ended up down here in Baja. And a little worried when I first got here because I remember as a child coming here, crossing the border from Nogales and also from
Oh,
San Diego. And I said, oh my God, I don't know if I can live in a country like this. And then when we came around the corner in Rosarito, there was Home Depot and Walmart, and I said, "Oh, I can do it."
yeah, that welcoming sign. Then you see the Applebee's too, and it's like, oh, yeah,
Oh,
we're almost here.
yeah,
So, oh, okay.
yeah,
So but you said you came as a child, so
yeah. So this was across. I mean, I went through a whole lot of decades there.
yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, cool.
um, we were here probably the last time was maybe 18, 20. My sister got married
Okay.
down here, so we got to do that about 15 years ago.
Oh.
So got to see the how it evolved. Mexico's.
So now you're with the La Misión Performing Arts Center. What is your role there?
So, can I tell you a little about
Okay,
how it came to fruition?
absolutely.
Okay. So when I had first moved here, some Kisa, she was from La Misión, had put a comment on Facebook saying, "Hey, is anybody interested in a coming up with a performing arts group?" And about a dozen of us said, "Sure, sure, we'd love to." And I said, "Well, we got a place, and I would love to help." And so we all met up at the cafe and had a little mini board meeting, kind of. It felt like because everybody was all about it,
Mm-hmm.
from Elizabeth to Lynn, and so there were several people that were in the beginning, and we just talked strategy and purpose, and they just want to just start acting. They wanted to just build this thing from the beginning. It was this energy that just started rolling, and so within the first year, we went down to Gertrude Perlman Theater, and
Oh, and
they gave us a
Ensenada, yeah.
nice tour of the facility, and um, really were very helpful in getting us instrumental in getting going. And Milo from RTG had reached out to us, and
Mm-hmm.
we were doing some stuff with him, and he helped us get our 501c3, so that way we could start raising some funds, so we can get some money to do some shows and things, because it was pretty costly in the beginning, because we didn't have any equipment. We had,
Oh,
we were asking for donations, and then the purpose of the whole group was to combine our expat community with our locals, so have try to blend the two together and get some cultural um, collaborations. I listen to the talents in our community, and from the kids to the ranchers, they just start
mm-hmm.
singing on the ranch and playing, and I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
they're so
interesting. Yeah,
talented, and the
yeah.
kids are so talented, and we didn't want it to just be about entertaining each other. We also wanted to work together, and the guitar program formed out of nowhere. There was the orphanage in Primo Tapia North. They were doing a little job fair kind of a thing, but it was
Uh-huh.
a play thing. They did that at Hacienda, and Miguel de Hoyos was there, and Claire doing acting classes, and Miguel was doing guitars for the kids. And so we had a whole bunch of representatives there looking to see who wanted to. We had like 25 kids sign up for stuff. So
Wow.
they were bussing them in, and we were getting volunteers to start teaching and coaching and helping the kids, and then we would get sponsors for that. And while that was going on, the adults were playing. We were doing shows here, and um, uh, little stand-up things, and every time someone said or came into our circle that said, "Oh, I used to be a comedian." "Oh, have you ever thought of teaching?" Because we're like, we want to have teaching teach us. If there's acting classes, if there's writing, because we need stories,
Oh, the
it's
screenwriter, yeah.
there's so many things. When we're out and about and we hear someone is a set designer or someone sews, we're like, "Well, how can we get them to help us?"
So
Um,
that's fascinating. So when did it really get started? When was that group meeting? What year was that?
uh, we just celebrated our 5th year anniversary,
Wow, that's
so
great.
yeah,
Congratulations. Wow.
5 years, yeah.
So this is a group of people that they all had some sort of background in
Yes,
performing or
like
what?
Elizabeth sang in Carnegie Hall for her performance. I went to many different schools and was on stage, and Lynn was a SAG actress at some point, and so I mean everybody had experiences in life, and but we're in the dead zone here. I mean we're like not doing anything actively. These
And see,
are
that's what's so fascinating to me
yeah,
that people move down here, and I don't think a lot of people realize the true talent that
yeah,
lives down here, both, in
yeah,
performing arts, but in a lot of other, aspects of life. And that's
yeah,
interesting. So you guys all sort of found each other
yeah,
and just started it.
yeah. I don't like anyone leaving this planet without sharing their knowledge. That is my biggest goal for everyone. Alex DePew used to play the violin
Oh,
with
yeah, yeah.
Miguel, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
passed away
Right.
before he turned 50. And I wanted to know how many people did he inspire? What was his legacy? How many he played
Mm-hmm.
beautifully, but did he share his talents and how did
Right.
it? And so I maybe he didn't want to, and he should have kept performing because he was great at it. But so I always say to someone, don't leave without sharing your talents. Don't take that with you. We want to learn from each other and experience things. Like Leslie Smith down here, she worked in the industry for 20 years, and we were. She said something about improv. Have you ever thought of doing improv? I says, no. When would you like to start doing it? And so because she has experience,
So
and
people got to be careful around you,
oh yeah,
David.
instantly you give me an idea, and we're running it with you, and especially if you have experience, and then I learned from her, and so
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't able to make one of the sessions, so I was able to take over, and then we've had a couple other people do it also. So the improv is very very fun,
Well,
and
that
it
does sound
gets
like fun.
so
So describe the facility itself down south here in La Mission.
okay. We just have a big room that was originally designed for a restaurant per se. It
Okay.
has a kitchen. It has this, seating and beautiful view of the ocean. And so it's limited. It has just enough space for maybe 70 70 seats to maybe 70 to 100 seats. But it's inside. But then we have an outside, it's like a Shakespearean stage that they had built many, many, many years ago with the vision of maybe one day doing a play there. But those people who built that are, they're not doing that. And I'm not a Shakespearean expert either, but we've used that thing for dances. The Allegro students came down with like a 60-piece orchestra, and they filled the whole stage with other instruments,
Wow.
and they played. We've had dance troops up there. The La Mission kids will come and do their dance numbers, and their beautiful costumes and stuff.
What a beautiful background
So
with the
it's yeah,
ocean
the ocean
backdrop. I
with those
mean,
Santa Ana winds.
well, that was going to be my next question. What kind of
Yeah,
challenges
it
does
is.
that
Yeah,
bring?
and the sunlight in the customers' faces and all the
Uh,
patrons. We've had fans, we've had hats, we've had tarps that blow away.
oh
Because when the wind
no.
comes, and it's always in the afternoon when we're doing our shows.
Of
So
course.
not always, but
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
and then there's been a swarm of bees came over one
Oh,
production, and they just went right overhead, and it was like, well, they have planes in San Diego, we have bees.
and
So
the show kept going on, I'm
everything
assuming.
was fine. Nobody
Yeah.
got hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a big challenge. Our goal is one day to be able to raise enough funds to create a bigger inside area because we can add on to the current building and then
Okay.
be able to have much more space.
Well, it sounds
And
like a nice intimate space. I mean, 70 people, that's a good
yeah, yeah,
audience for
yeah.
that. And I'm sure then you do multiple performances.
Yeah, so yeah, we can
Yeah.
do like when we did a few shows last year. We do. I don't know if you have any of the pictures yet.
Oh, do you want
Um,
to talk about like
like when we talk, if we talk about it, I have a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
couple
yeah.
pictures.
Did you
Oh,
want to
so
talk?
that one was right there that just went with the choir. That's the Sonic Butterfly. She came down, put her strings, 100 strings all over our building, and then just played the instruments. And then
Wait a minute,
we did a
explain that.
concert.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
she comes out with this like a harp, but it's just a machine, and she has 100 strings that come off of the machine tied to the top of our building, and we all sat underneath it, and she would play music and it was just like a concert underneath, like being inside a harp
Oh my
or a
gosh,
guitar.
that sounds
The kids
amazing.
got to come. So we did a concert in the evening, and then in the morning she did yoga. So everybody came out with their mats and just listened to her ding-a-ling-a-ling with the things. And then the kids came and they got to play and dance, and some of them got to play the strings. From La Mission, we brought the kids
And
in to
what was that
play.
called?
Sonic Butterfly.
Sonic
She's
Butterfly.
from
Wow, what an interesting concept.
California, up mid-state.
Now,
So
how did she end up coming down here? I mean,
So this is what I said. If someone says something to me and there's an opportunity, someone had mentioned that she was amazing. Ojai, I think, Ojai,
oh,
California.
that's quite a ways from Baja.
And we were like, and we tried to do one big production. And in the beginning, we were desperately looking for anyone with talents other than us, doing what we were doing until we got better. And so when we heard about her, we were like, this is a great opportunity because we'll be able to have music, entertain the community,
Right,
and the yoga. We have so many health conscious people here, so a lot of
right.
mind and soul, and so it worked out
What a
well.
unique
Yeah,
concept.
she connects to the Eiffel Tower all over the world. She goes, so
I have
she's
never heard
very
of that,
unique.
but boy, I'm
Yeah,
sorry I missed that.
yeah,
How many years ago was that? Do you
probably
think?
four.
Oh, 4 years
Yeah,
ago. Wow.
yeah.
And then I think we were going to talk about the choir. Now tell me about that. So,
Yeah, so we we all love to sing, whether it's in the shower. Some people shouldn't sing, but we still think they do. We've
yeah.
had people tell me that their nun told them they weren't allowed to sing and they had to leave the classroom, and that broke my heart because everybody should be able to sing regardless. And a choir is a good, safe environment for that because you're not a soloist, you're not the only one being heard,
Mm-hmm.
and the synergy of the group really helps. And it does a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff for our minds and our bodies and our spirit. So our age, I mean, we have people from 16 all the way up to 95
That's
that join our
amazing.
choir, and we've evolved so many different, years. We went, and I did the best that I could for the last 5 years, and we'd have some guest people in the community that wanted to try it out, but it always still landed back on my lap. So this year I decided that my hands were spread too far because I
Mm-hmm.
am the artistic director for the whole theater, so I have to make sure all the programs are running well, and I
Right,
don't
right.
need to be running them. So this year we brought in Jose, I'm gonna say his name wrong, Jose Alfonso Sarignano, Nanya. He's an opera singer, but
Oh, wow.
he's half my age, but the talents that he brings to our group is really, really good. So we have our recital tomorrow, actually, our performance of what we've been working on thus far. And so, like in that picture, it shows that we were outside. We had a spring concert. We did a tribute to ABBA, a bunch of
Oh, that
songs.
was so cute with the sunflowers and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Tony Holmes and Alberto, they wanted to dress like sunflower creatures, and boy, it was unique.
So, how often does the choir perform?
Every 6 months, we try to do
Okay.
because then that way because you want to have an ending point to each. Not everybody wants to commit long term.
Oh,
So
that's
if we get
true.
you to sign up, you come up for the 6 months or 3 months or however long you can partake. Usually we do holiday things in the fall, and then
Mm.
in the summertime we get to do. I know this next one we're going to work on Beatles. He really wants to do some Beatle work,
Oh, that's
so
great. It
that'll
seems like
be
that seems to
great
be a good
music.
theme right now
Yeah,
with the Beatles
especially if
and
we're just coming off of this very heavy. It was his first season with us, so he gave us some very difficult pieces to work with because he wanted to stretch us and see what our bandwidth was. And so,
well, that's great
yeah,
because I mean everybody knows the Beatle music, and I'm
yeah.
sure that's pretty easier
So it'd
to
be nice
sing
to
to.
slide into
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah. So after they went through the tough stuff, they get to do that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so the choir, and then with that, we have I think if you have the other pictures there,
The Broadway, you
the
do?
Broadway. So the Best of Broadway was our very first one. It's hard to get licenses when you don't know how much money you're going to have for a budget to
Mm-hmm.
do things down here. So what we did was a music review, and starting from the left, we had The Sound of Music, and then they did Willy Wonka, Aida, music from Cats, and we had about 9 different kids from the community that all came. They auditioned. We made them, and we dressed them up as cats, and they didn't speak English, but they had fun doing the
Oh
cat
my
part,
gosh,
and they
yeah.
had fun dancing on the bed with Lisa when they did the Julie Andrews scene from Sound of Music, and
And look
it
what
was just fun,
I mean, and look, we were talking about that. That's the former Shakespearean stage, but look at that with the sun
Yeah,
setting in the
yeah,
background.
yeah. Before those are curtains that all blew away
Oh
during the
no.
show, and when she did the West Side Story, she went to go grab her clothes off the rack, and the wind just took the rack right off the stage. But she was able to grab her garment,
Oh my
so it was
gosh.
fun. But Yeah, so this is a example. And now we have full, thanks to Paul Ross, he helped build this massive, with about 15 of our community came, and they just started construction. They built all these panels that block all the wind now for all the cast members, and they
Oh,
can dress behind there and stuff. So
oh, that's nice.
so
That's
we that
nice.
works out well.
Yeah.
And then Scott Haynes, one of our locals here, he plays the guitar and he's a writer. He wrote his own play called DAMM, DAMMM,
Okay.
Dead Artists Make More Money. And this is our incredible cast for that show. They pulled, we went down to Punta Banda to perform it. They let us come and do a show down there. So
Oh,
and
wow.
they bring theirs here. So we brought it down there and used their stage. But this talent, these kids are not kids, but just like
They're all
Enrique came
kids.
out of nowhere. It's never acted in a day in his life, and he's got like almost a leading role. Amy, who's a lawyer, had the best audition, and I'm like, do you have acting experience? She goes, no, but because of being on the stage of the courtroom, she's always performing.
Oh,
Because,
that's true.
and
Wow.
so I've learned so much about people's skills and talents that come out, and and his daughter's in there, and Rudy, he's up there performing on every show, wants to just be part of it. I don't want to leave out
Now,
everybody's
how many
names, but
performances
they
did you
did
have?
6 and one down in Punta
Oh,
Banda.
wow.
So yeah, a
Wow, that's
lot of, and we only did 80 because it was filmed in 1981 is where he wrote the story. So
mm-hmm.
we limited it to 81 seats for every show just because
Oh,
that
how
was,
cute.
and
Yeah.
every show sold out technically. So we were able to show it that many times.
Wow.
And great story. Fun story. The community loved it. It's beautiful music. He wrote every song. He wrote all the words, and they all did a great job. And now he's working on a new one. And I don't want to name drop, but it'll be another. It's going to be a showstopper.
Wow,
So
so
we'll work
something to
on that
wait for.
next year.
Now, I'm looking at all this, and there's a lot of beautiful costumes. How
Yes.
do you manage that as a group of people?
So we have a room that is just dedicated to the theater, and it has about 10 racks of just clothes and clothes and clothes and clothes. So people will go in their closet and just start throwing stuff in and throw
So
it and bring it
started
to us. And we were
donating?
just taking. And
Oh,
now we're being a
okay.
little bit more pickier. We can get jeans from Cruz Roja or
Right, right.
Stacy's shop, and or anywhere locally. So we're trying to save the really unique pieces. So we're accumulating a couple wedding dresses, so we're going to have to do a show down the line with a bunch of brides, whether they're male or female, who knows? It'll be
Well, that
something
could be
fun.
interesting. Yeah. Well, because I was thinking about that because we do have the Cruz Roja thrift store, we have
Yep,
Tempest Trading,
yep,
and a lot of the ladies, especially the women that moved down here and retired,
yeah,
probably had these beautiful gowns and
they
stuff
do.
like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So we just had a big cleanup project to get that all together, and we had them all boxed up and in bins. But Maria had recommended we lay them all out and just put a sheet over them, keep them nice and safe
mm,
and protected. So yeah, that's a project in itself, and keeping the props and all the other stuff
okay,
together.
there's
So
there's my other question when it comes to set designs and
yeah.
and building the sets. Do you have just people that volunteer to do that,
All
or?
volunteers.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we're a nonprofit organization, and everyone has pretty much donated all of their time and all their
Hmm.
effort. They loan us phones and old antique pieces. Someone brought a piece of furniture for the last show that we needed, and we've had a bed donated one time just for
Uh-huh.
for one of the scenes, and
Hmm.
they throw stuff in the back of their truck, let us borrow it, and bring it back. We do have some stuff that we do end up having to buy that we'll end up repurpose and use.
Okay.
Like when we did Little Shop of Horrors, we got this big eating plant that's we can't really reuse that. So
And who
we have a membership party coming up on July 3rd, and so we're doing all kinds of games for the patrons to be able to um, earn tickets to win stuff. And so we're going to have the plant. He's going to make an appearance,
Oh,
and
how cute.
we're going to put the cornhole inside his mouth.
Oh, that's
Just something to
unique.
do. So he has a purpose because the poor guy's been sitting for a year, and
Yeah.
we've asked all the theaters around if anybody wanted him, wanted to buy him. We wanted to
Mm-hmm.
sell him, but not successful. So,
Uh-huh.
but he had a life. Good guy.
Well, um, so like I said, you mentioned that there's also the children's program with the
Yeah,
music, and I think that's really interesting to give both the local kids and any expat kids here a chance to learn music.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So they're all welcome to come join the choir.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's a little bit advanced, so we don't have that opportunity. We've been working with the schools, trying to get into the schools because we have so many teachers in our community that want to teach music. Unfortunately, we're seeing across the board, across the country, that the arts is just not anywhere in the top for a lot of the schools. And so down here, it's not a focus, and we know that. And
Right,
so
right.
anything that we can do outside of the educational center is we're trying to do that. So, for instance, the 25 kids and the chef and two of the moms that work there are taking guitar classes. And Miguel
Oh,
actually
even the chef
goes,
and
yeah, oh yeah, he wanted to get involved.
oh,
And
that's
plus,
cool.
it holds the kids accountable too because there's an adult present too besides.
Okay, yeah.
So, and we've watched those kids. They for 2 years now. They've been taking guitar, and now Miguel is doing the classes actually up at the center there. Makes it easier. If the bus broke down, the rains. They had so many issues getting to us. So we're sending Miguel to go there to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then they have to come and perform a couple times a year. So that way they get them on stage, give them a purpose, and give
Oh,
them some fun.
what a wonderful impact you're making,
Yeah,
even on the youth here. I mean,
yeah,
this is amazing. And you said it's only been 5 years.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And so, what are the plans for the future? I mean, where do you see it going? I know you talked about possibly expanding the
Yeah.
building.
Well, we're thrilled that the Rosarita Theater is broken ground because
Right.
we're called the Misión Performing Arts Center. I've always thought of it as an educational center
Mm-hmm.
where we're doing classes and we're training and we're finding the talent pools. We're doing
Uh-huh.
karaoke to get people to come sing, and then we're like, okay, you're on board, and doing all these fun
Mm.
events and concerts and stuff like that. So then that way we can find all of the talents. And then once RTG is back up and running, we're so thrilled. Then we can go back to more focusing on the training and the education and the rehearsals and practicing, and because we're looking at them as the big stage because it's going to already be there. They're a little bit ahead of us. I would love to have our own stage at some point for our long-term plan,
Mm-hmm.
but theirs is much quicker and it's in the works. So
So basically, when you're saying RTG for the people that viewers that are listening right now, you're referring to the Rosarita Theater Guild.
yes.
So that preceded La Mission Performing
Yeah,
Arts Center.
they're almost 30 years they were. I mean, they've been
Okay.
inactive for several years for
Right.
whatever the reasons are, but we're glad to see that there's a lot of activity going and they're getting ready to get back in action. I'm from Connecticut originally. There was 40 something theaters within 45 minutes of my
Oh,
house.
wow.
So I mean, you go into Manhattan, you've got Broadway and off Broadway.
Right.
So there's every street corner there's another theater. So and that's fabulous to have that. It's wonderful to have lots of opportunities for the actors, for the singers, the dancers, all the people who need things to do. There's, and show attendees. So, and there's a variety because we have certain patrons who are like, oh my God, you're doing another musical. I'm like, yeah, sorry. And so now the next one's a play. It's called Nana's Naughty Knickers. And I got to tell you, people are going to need to wear Depends for this show. It is so flippin' funny.
Oh, it's a comedy, huh? Well,
It's a
the title
comedy.
itself.
Yeah, Kathy Stevenson's going to direct it, and then we have and then in the summertime we're doing a one-act play festival too. So we have a lot of writers here. So what we wanted to do is showcase our writers. So the actors are just going to read from cards, and they're going to tell the stories of the writers. So that way their stuff gets on stage.
Oh, wow,
So
that's interesting.
it makes it easier for a lot of the people who audition because at our age, some of us might not remember so many lines. So to be able to read the cards and tell the story of the person that we're featuring that's our one act play festival that we're doing.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
so
there's lots happening. But I like the collaboration, and the fact that you are, like you said, you're finding the talent,
yeah,
curating that talent, and
yeah,
giving people a chance. I mean, it's amazing all the talent that is here in Baja.
yeah.
So
And when I say I, most of the time it's we. It's always we. It is never me. So because we have a board of directors with like 11 people that are all working their butts off.
mm-hmm.
We're from the internet to the sewing and costumes, the advertisement. We have a Bravo program, which is our new way of rewarding our members, people who sign up to become a member.
Explain what that's about.
So for $50, you become a member and you
Okay.
get a Bravo card. And the Bravo card gives you discounts that goes pretty much to like at least 20 establishments that I know of here. Like Splash gives 10%.
Oh,
Shack
wonderful.
gives you this. Palenque gives you that. Stacy's gives you 20% off on Sundays. We're talking to Tempest today to get her details. I mean, this card, by supporting us, gets you discounts at all these establishments, who are our sponsors. They used to be our sponsors where they would buy an ad and put them in our playbill. Now that's going to just come free because they're giving back to the community, and we're just going to list them in our playbills.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's
That's
a new
awesome.
program that we just launched, and it's been doing really well. So and so that party is on July 3rd, and then in the fall we're doing a Katrina ball. So it's going to be a
Ooh,
big gala for
wow.
the people.
And that's for all the members.
Yeah.
So again, if somebody wants to become a member, you have a website.
Yes.
We can make sure we put a link into that at the end of the
Okay.
show.
Yeah. LaMissionPerformingArts.com, and that's such a long name, La Mision Performing Arts Center,
It is.
or that. And so we've kind of LMPAC, which is LMPAC. It's
LMPAC.
pronounced LMPAC.
Mhm.
So we're trying to get that name out there just so that way it's just LMPAC. It's easier to remember that instead
Yeah.
of all those other words.
Right.
And we even
right.
have a LMPAC.org, LMPAC.org. So that's supposed to link you to our page. So
Okay,
we make it
great,
much easier
great.
than typing all that other stuff.
And if somebody's watching this show and they go, hey, I think I might be interested in the choir or call you. That's going to be a dangerous thing because
No, don't call me. No,
no, but I
WhatsApp,
can tell.
WhatsApp.
You're the kind that, like you said, they say
Yeah.
one word and you're going to
Yeah.
get them in there. But this is just wonderful. To provide that entertainment for the people here, but also give people that have the talent the chance to still perform down here. I think
Yeah.
that's wonderful. And from kids, like you said, all the way up to the 90s. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
We have a wonderful group of talents. Everybody's talented in so many ways, and everybody's willing to learn. And they share, but they also are willing to learn. I think that makes the difference too. Um,
So what's the
collaborate.
next performance coming up that we can look forward to?
It will be the One Act Play Festival, which is July 10th and 11th.
Okay, that's like a month away.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll be looking forward
Excellent.
to that.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming out here and sharing this story. I think people have seen LMPAC out there, but they weren't sure what it was, and it was wonderful to hear the history and all the wonderful people. I know you could probably name a million people down here and the
Yeah.
talented people.
There is.
So thank you to all of that, and thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. And again, people, if you're watching that, I encourage you, check this out. It's the performance is coming up in July, and then that Nana's Naughty Knickers. I don't know when is that coming out.
That's August,
August.
second or third week of August.
Okay, is that going to be outdoors or indoors?
That one will be outside. Yeah.
Ooh,
Which is yeah.
Okay, so knickers are going to be
But
flying in
in
the air.
August though, that we don't usually get Santa Anas that early.
That's
We're
true.
hoping so.
Yeah, well, something to look forward to, people, and then check them out on their website if you'd like to become a member. The support, obviously they're doing great things down here. They can always do the support, use your support. So thanks again, David, for coming out here.
Well,
Appreciate you taking the
us.
time. Thanks, Diego, for getting those photos up there. And again, if you're a person that has a story, maybe you've got a talent you haven't told us about, we would love to hear your story. We know everybody here in Mexico has a story to tell. Reach out to us at studio212team@gmail.com. Let us know what your story is. We'd love to get you on a future podcast. But until next time, thank you, David. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And hope to see you at a performance.